Hi folks, this is Karim Raouf from our IT Visualizer channel. We will continue our lab, the Red Alert Lab. This is the video number 69. We have been discussing in the previous video the following. We have been working now for 4 videos concerning the topic of Windows 11, the latest Microsoft operating system. We should plan from now to implement and deploy this operating system in our network, especially that Windows 10 will expire and its life cycle will end by all of its versions actually will expire, and their life cycle will end by October 24, 2025. So we need to be prepared to deploy and implement this new operating system in our network. This system was introduced in October 2021, so we have this operating system in the market for 1 year. We should, as we said before, prepare ourselves to deploy this operating system. We need to try and see the advantages and disadvantages of this system, and we need to prepare a master image. So when the time comes and the Windows 10 expires, we need to deploy this master image to all of our networks. So this is our topic. We need to create a perfect Windows 11 master image with all of the tricks and tips and tweaks and the famous or the most used programs in large companies, something like Office, something like 7-zip, a compression program, something like KeePass, password manager program, something like Adobe Reader. So we are preparing a complete Windows 11 master image with all of the tweaks and tricks and all of the necessary programs needed in any large company. The tips and tricks, I mean here that we are working with some tweaks that we will do in Windows 11 to be much faster and more easy to use. We have discussed this concept, something called virtual memory. We disabled visual effects, which have increased our performance of the Windows 11, and we have changed the power plan to be high performance power plan to increase the performance of the machine or the Windows 11 machine. We have changed the way the start menu of Windows 11 looks to be more like Windows 7 start menu, so users can use this menu or to be more familiar with this menu. So we have a lot of things to do or to prepare a good Windows 11 master image. So this is the video number 5. We continue work to discover and implement tips and tricks for Windows 11 and to deploy it or to integrate it with our Windows 11 master image. So now we have stopped the last time at discovering the system option in the Windows 11. So now I am trying to discover most of the features in Windows 11, especially in the system and display. Now we can see a lot of options in the display option in system, but actually I don't see any option, or I don't see any option that we will need to tweak or we need to focus on. So I'm just taking each option one by one and see if we need to tweak an option or to disable an option or enable an option. So all of these options, I don't see any necessity to change anything in it. So this is the icons that will appear or the notifications, sorry, not the icons, the notifications concerning some programs. You configure the Windows 11 to give you notifications concerning some events, for example startup notification of programs, privacy, autoplay of sounds. Okay, so actually I don't see anything to configure in this option. So I am trying to discover the Windows 11 options to see which one we can work with. Actually I found that the storage option is a very unique option. There is a lot of things in the storage option in system. We will discover it now. So it's very good options, and we can tweak it and we can play with the options of the storage to our benefit. So we can use it wisely and we can use it to increase or to increase the performance of the machine. Okay, so here we can see that I have disabled notifications or focus assist. I'm telling the Windows 11 not to give me notifications when I am playing games, or not to give notifications when playing games. Okay, so here go to the system, and then we will go to the most important one. I think this is the storage option. So this is one of the very important options in Windows 11, and we need to see different options of it. So we can see this is the power options. We had played with these options the previous video. So here we see that sleep is set to never. Actually, we have done this in the previous video to increase the performance of the machine. Now we go to the storage. Okay, now we will see a lot of options here. Here he will give you the partition C and the space, the total space, and he will give you some options, for example something like the temporary files and other files that when removed it will increase the space on your C partition. Just a moment, guys. So let's continue, guys. Here we can see that the storage option here, I think this option was in Windows 10. Here we can see it will give you the partitions, and every partition, the total space and the temporary files, which when it is cleaned it will give you or save you some space. And there is some options to automatically free space by deleting, for example, the user's downloaded files. So this is a very dangerous option. We will discuss it now, but actually this option or storage option will give you some information about the partitions of your hard disk, how to clean these partitions by deleting certain files, how you can backup some files if you need to backup. So let's discover these options. So here we can see that, for example, there is something called storage sense. Storage sense, it is an option. When it is activated, it will delete automatically or free some space by deleting automatically certain files. Some of them are temporary files, and some of them are the user's downloaded files. So he will go to the download folders and delete the downloads in this download folder. Okay, so we will see now that this is also a dangerous option. I do not recommend to open it because it will delete important files. Okay, so I prefer to disable this option, but we will discover one by one, or discover certain option one by one. Here we, for example, that we can see cleanup recommendations. He will give you some recommendations to clean or to free some space. So let's see what are these recommendations. If we open the cleanup recommendations, we will see what files can be deleted to free some space. Here you can see that, for example, he's saying that keep Windows running smoothly by automatically cleaning up temporary system files and app files. So this is, I prefer this option to be activated. Okay, so this option is good to clean temporary system files and app files. This will free some space and will make the Windows appear to be performing faster. Okay, here we see that this one, some automatic user content cleanup, this one I do not prefer to use it. He say that storage sense runs when disk space is low. So what we will do, you need to activate the storage sense, and then after that it will monitor your disk space, and when the disk space is low it will delete some files. Okay, so what are these files that are deleted? Okay, here he say it is user content. What are the user contents? Okay, the user's contents, as I have understand, it is the downloaded folders or downloaded files, something like this. So he's saying that he can delete some user content when the storage sense is open. I prefer not to open this option, by the way, because he will delete downloaded folders or downloaded files in the download folders. Okay, for the user, I do not prefer to do this. Okay, so let's see. Here is saying that I prefer to leave or clean up of temporary files, but not to delete user content. Okay, here we see that when you open storage sense, okay, he say that, for example, let's see here this option. Here he's saying that when you open the storage sense, it will delete files in the recycle bin after 30 days, and it will delete downloaded files in downloads folder. Here you can see that this is also a critical one. I do not prefer to use it because maybe the downloaded files in the downloads folder, I need them, so I should not open this option. So let's see, for example, here I can have my Windows 10. So let's see the storage option. I think here maybe let's go and see if this option is available here. Let's go to I think system, maybe. I think don't think that the storage sense here is the storage. Okay, so here is the storage sense. Okay, automatically free some space. Let's see what are the options. Change how can just free space. So let's see this one. What happened? So if you open the setting and then we open the system and then we open storage, okay, then change, okay, how to free space. Let's open this one. Okay, here we see that we will delete temporary internet files. No, this is from the recycle bin. Delete files from the recycle bin after 30 days. Delete files in my download folders, never. So you can open storage sense, okay, and it will automatically delete temporary files, and it delete temporary system files. No, I think it will delete files from the recycle bin, and it will not delete files from downloaded folders. So it is something, an option I do not prefer to open actually, because it will delete files from the recycle bin. Or you can open this option and tell him not to delete files in the downloads folder. So you can open the storage sense and tell him to delete automatically files in the recycling bin after 30 days. So you have your choice to open the option or not. I prefer not to open it. Okay, just when you need to clear some space or clean some space or free some space, just go to the recycle bin and delete it manually, because maybe there is some files in the recycle bin that you need to restore. And for downloads folder also, you need to check the downloads folder and see what files you need and what files are not necessary anymore. So you can do this manually, not on an automatic or on a schedule. Okay, so let's continue, or let's discover the other options. So storage sense is an automatic option to delete files automatically, like files from the recycle bin and files from the downloads folder. Okay, so let's go further, or go and discover other options in the storage. Okay, so here we can see that the performance of the machine or the virtual machine, it's low because I don't have enough memory. Okay, so here let's see the cleanup recommendations. So before we have seen the storage sense, okay, and we did not activate the storage sense. Let's see here the cleanup recommendations. He will give you recommendations on what to delete, or on what files you need to delete to clear up or to have free some space. These are the temporary files of the system, okay, and large unused files. So there is a lot of recommendations on how to clear or to free some space. Unused files, temporary system files, files from the recycle bin, files from the downloaded folders or downloads folder. Okay, so there is a lot of things to play with here. Actually, we can leave everything for the default except for playing with the storage sense option. Okay, do not activate the storage sense option. Okay, so here we can see that this is also a graph or something that will give you the partitions and how much space is used and how much space is free. Here is storage used on other devices or other drivers. Okay, so he will give you the drivers or the local hard disk and other drivers if you have a flash or hard disk or external hard disk. So basically these are all options. We will not need to play with it. So for example, if we opened the C partition, here he will give you a graph about what are the different file types that are using space on this partition. So for example, here we can see that system and reserve, these are system files, app files, temporary files, documents. So all of these are a graph or a detailed information about what type of files are that are using space from your partition. Okay, see, this is how your storage is used and how you can free space. Okay, so system files 29 gigabytes, app files 7 gigabytes, others, and so on. So these are good info to know when you are dealing with freeing some space. Okay, so pictures, music, videos, OneDrive, desktop. So all of these are useful info when I need to clear some space. Okay, so now we can see that okay, this is our the cleanup recommendations, I think, and then we need to go to the this is advanced storage setting, and then we need to go to other option where new content is saved. This is a good one actually. Here he is saying that when you save files, okay, where it will be saved. So automatically files are saved. For example, when you open an Office application, something like Word or Excel, it automatically saves your Word document or Excel document to the user document folders. It is in C partition. Okay, so he is saying that where are the new documents to be saved? It will be saved on the C partition. New music will be saved in the C partition, new photos will be saved on the C partition, and so on. So I prefer that all of the new documents not to be saved to the C partition. Why? Because if there is a virus that infected the C partition, all of these things will be infected and you will not be able to restore it. So I prefer to move all of the new documents or new music or new photos to the D partition. All of the new documents and music and photos to be saved to the D partition. So if you need to erase the C partition or format the C partition due to a virus that infects the C partition, this will be, just a moment guys. So let's continue guys. Here I prefer that new content, apps or documents or music or pictures to be saved to the D partition, because the C partition should only have the operating system on it. We don't need to have anything else except the operating system files on the C partition. All of the user's data, files, documents, musics and pictures should be moved to the D partition, and I will discuss later in an upcoming video that we need to create a folder on the D partition, so all of the user's content or the user's profile contents should be saved to it. Okay, all of the user's files, music, pictures, videos and apps should be moved from the C partition to the D partition. So I prefer to change this option to be in the D partition, not in the C partition. Okay, so we will change this option. This is one of the things I recommend to change, not to save any files on the C partition. The C partition should only include the system files. Okay, so we will change this later. Okay, I will play with this option later. So we have seen the storage sense option, the cleanup recommendations, advanced storage setting, then we will see the storage space. This here is an option if you have different hard disks. So you have multiple hard disks on your Windows 11. The storage spaces can collect or can take every free space from every hard disk and combine them in one partition. So you can take the free spaces from multiple hard disks and use them to create one partition or create a new partition. Something is called storage pool and storage space. So this is one of the things he's saying, that storage spaces give you flexibility. For example, you can save files to 2 or more disks for protection from disk failure, and you can conveniently add more disks when you run low on space. Here I think he's saying that that you can create storage pool, okay, from free spaces in multiple hard disks, or you can use this option to create something like RAID or something like RAID 1, or to make mirror partitions. This also can be done from the storage space. You can make mirror hard disks, or to mirror hard disk using the storage space, or storage pool and storage space. Okay, so this is one of the things also we need to this is all something I do just to discover the different options of Windows 11. Okay, this is not tips and tricks. Okay, I'm just trying to discover different options of Windows 11. Here, this is disk volumes. It will give you also a brief about every disk and every partition volume. Okay, you can see that I have D partition, C partition. I can explore every partition. So I'm just, if you tell him the properties of the D partition, here we can see that you can change the drive letter. You can see, you can format the partition, you can enable BitLocker on it. So different options concerning different volumes or disks. So here I am discovering most of the options. Okay, so we go to advanced storage setting again, and then we go to the next option, which is backup options. So here we can back up some options, but here there is one option, say OneDrive folder syncing. I prefer to close or disable the OneDrive option completely. Okay, we don't need to have internal data in our company to be saved to external servers outside our network. Okay, so we need to close OneDrive folder syncing. Okay, we do not need to have this option activated. Okay, some Windows features are only available if you have a Microsoft account or work account. I think this is also related to the OneDrive. Okay, anyway, so we will not enable this option. Actually, we need to disable OneDrive completely. Okay, so here we are discovering the different options, okay, of Windows 11. So here, this is actually a lot of things. Okay, and this is the accounts. Anyway, so we'll go again and see the option of storage. We will need to see the storage option, and then we go to advanced storage setting, and we need to see the driver optimization, the last one. Okay, I think this is something here, driver optimization, when you feel that this is another tip for increasing the performance of the operating system. After time, or for example, if you have installed the operating system and leave it for a certain time, there is a process called fragmentation of files. This process, in very simple explanation, will make your operating system slower. So what we need to do, we need something called defragment. So we need to defrag your partition that contains the operating system every now and then. So the operating system, when it is slow, we need to defrag the partition that have the operating system installed on it. So this is done automatically. You can see here that there is a schedule to run defragment, but I think this is there is something, or there is a schedule. So here we can see that there is a schedule on. The schedule is on, so it will be done daily. We can choose the time that the defragmentation is done. So this is a good thing also. So one of the things to increase the performance of the machine, or to increase the performance of the operating system, to make a defragment to the operating system. And how can we make defragment to the operating system? By defragging the partition that the operating system resides in. Okay, so this is one of the things actually. So this is good. This is one of the tips to increase the performance of the machine, to make a schedule for defragment. Okay, so this is one of the things also. Here we can see it is done daily, but it didn't tell us when. Okay, so it is done daily, but at what time? I think when the system is idle. Anyway, so these are a couple of options in the storage option. Okay, I was trying to discover the different options in the storage. Here we can see that Here, for example, temporary files, he will delete the files in the downloads folder. Okay, this is one of the things. Large or unused files, if you have some unused files, he will give you recommendations on to delete them. File sync it to the cloud, unused apps. So these are all options to or recommendations to clear or to free some space by deleting certain files. The storage sense, we have seen this option before, so we do not activate the storage sense option, okay, because it will delete automatically certain files in certain times. Or you can activate it and tell him not to delete the downloads, the files in the downloads folder. Okay, so these are different features. Okay, here we can see that this is the apps option. Here we can see that it displays all of the apps that are installed on this machine. Here we can see there's something called share across devices. We need to disable this option because it will share your setting on your Windows 11 with different devices that has Windows 11 installed on it, if it is a tablet or it is a phone. So we need to disable, or even a TV, so we need to disable this thing. We need to disable share across devices, continue app experience on other devices connected to your account. So, or this is the app experience, okay? Share your experience with other devices. Anyway, I need to disable this option, okay? Choose where to get apps, okay? I prefer only to get apps from the Microsoft Store only, okay, not from anywhere. Okay, this is related to what apps should be installed, so you should only install apps from the Microsoft Store. Okay, so this is one thing. We need also to have this option activated. So we still discover the different options, and these are the apps installed on the Windows 11 machine. Archive apps. To save storage space and internet bandwidth, apps you do not use frequently will be archived automatically. Your files and data will be saved. The next time you use an archive app, it will connect to the internet to restore the full version. Anyway, I do not prefer to archive apps, okay, so I prefer to close this one. We don't need to archive the apps, okay. I think this is an option that will take some space. Okay, anyway, so we can go further and discover the different options. These are all of the apps. You can see what apps that are not needed, and you can uninstall it from here, okay, just to free some space. And actually also this will increase the performance of the machine to uninstall unnecessary programs. Okay, so we can see there is a lot of options. Actually, I will not go further. I just trying to see the most important options I need to work with. So if, for example, nearby sharing, this is something, another option also we need to focus on. So you can see that here is giving recommendation, or what are the temporary internet files. Okay, you can see the thumbnails, temporary internet files. These are the file, or what are the temporary files. Some of them are temporary internet files, Windows or Microsoft Defender antivirus files, delivery optimization files, some files. So he's saying that you have about 364 megabytes that you can free from deleting temporary files. Okay, and one of the files also the Windows update files. So after you install a Windows update, you should remove the update itself after installing it. So you download the update, install the update, and then remove the update. The update installation files, not the update itself. Okay, so we can see here, this is also, we are still exploring the storage option. So there is not a lot of things to work with. We need to go to nearby sharing. We need to have a good look on this one. We should close nearby sharing. We don't need to share files with Windows devices. Okay, so, and save files I receive. So for example, if you have, let me see here, if we tell him share files by near Windows devices, okay, so we don't need to have or to share files between different devices that have Windows operating system installed on them, Windows Phone, tablet or so. So you need to close nearby sharing and save files. If you are opening the share option, the files will be received in the downloads folders anyway. So I think this is related to Bluetooth devices maybe, or Windows devices anyway. So we close nearby sharing. Okay, this is one thing we need to close. Okay, we should not share files between different Windows devices. Multitasking, we have seen this option before. I don't need to focus more on this this option, so we can go on discover other options. Okay, so we can go further. Okay, and then you can go further. Now discover other option of projecting. I think this option also is not good anyway. So there is another option. If you go further, there is option called troubleshooting. Okay, so this one it will give you some automatic steps to troubleshoot different problems. Okay, so you can go to the troubleshooter and it will give you some steps to troubleshoot common problems in Windows 10 or Windows 11. Okay, so if you have a problem with the sound, you can go to the troubleshooter and you will click an option in the troubleshoot. He will begin a series of tests and he will tell you that there is a problem and he will solve it automatically. So you can use the troubleshooter to solve automatically common problems in Windows 10 or 11. Okay, so this is thing we need to see. And the option for recovery, I think maybe remote desktop. So you use remote desktop. This is also another thing to see, remote desktop. And then clipboard or so, Bluetooth devices. I don't think we have something here. Apps, default apps, Bluetooth. I think this is something here. And network, maybe. No, we don't need also network. Internet, VPN, advanced settings. So I think this is also something we need to see. And startup, okay, something also you need to see. Apps, offline, features, system power. Okay, we see all of this. Accounts, family. I think also you don't need to see this option. Game mode, gaming. We should close gaming actually, by the way. I don't need to have gaming installed. Okay, so this is the end of our video. At the upcoming video we'll continue. So this video was discovering different options in Windows 11. The upcoming video will continue working with the tips and tricks to tweak the Windows 11 and prepare it to be a master Windows 11 image to be deployed to different devices in our network. Hope this video informative for you all, and thank you all for viewing. Thank you so much.